Forget everything you've seen from these 2-year-olds so far because none of them have gone the 1.125 distance on the dirt. This is the distance test. At Aqueduct, stamina becomes the great equalizer, and 10 crucial Kentucky Derby points are up for grabs. Welcome to the Remsen Stakes, where prospects become contenders. 12 horses are lining up in that starting gate. And yes, I said 12. How are you going to find your winner? Facts and figures are going to give you that winning edge. I give you the stats, you make the picks. Hi, it's Maura from Trifecta and a little bit extra, and I'm going to walk you through all 12 contenders. But I am going to let you in on a little secret. These 12 represent over $10 million. In fact, one horse is $5 million alone, but that means nothing until they can prove themselves at this distance. Now, before we get started, let me just remind you, horse betting is not legal in every state, so if you're betting, make sure it's legal. Now, on to the contenders. Starting with day one starter, coming out of post position 1. He's trained by McGaughey and be ridden by Junior Alvarado. 3 starts with a win and a show, both here at Aqueduct. Now, he began his career at Saratoga in a 6-furlong race. He finishes 6th with a speed rating of 56. Next, he goes to a 6.5-furlong maiden special weight race, and he wins gate to wire by 4 lengths and gets a buyer of an 82. Now, the horses he beat that day, they held their form next time out, and that's important to note. But unfortunately, not day one starter. He actually regressed next time out. He was in the mile Nashua Stakes here at Aqueduct. He finishes 3rd with only a 61 buyer. Now, despite his potential, he needs to go that longer distance. And I don't like the fact that in his last race, his notes say weakened. He's by Upstart, and Upstart's top progeny of Zandon actually finished 2nd in this race in 2021. So potentially, he's got the pedigree. I know he's got the really good experience here at Aqueduct, and he has a speed rating in the 80s. But due to the comments of weakened and that regression in the last race, too much uncertainty for me personally to back. Next up, we have a horse whose pedigree screams Kentucky Derby, and that is Paladin. Trained by Chad Brown, he'll get leading rider Flavian Pratt. Now, he is a $1.9 million purchase, son of Gunrunner, 2017 Horse of the Year. The dam is an unraced mare, but her sire is Tappet, who produced 4 Belmont winners. Now, Paladin debuted in a mile race here at Aqueduct, which is no small feat. He stalked close to the pace, and those fractions, they were hot. 23 and change, 46 and change. He lost a shoe coming down the stretch and was even impeded by Renegade, but he was able to finish 2nd with an 87 buyer. Now, Renegade is also in this race, and that 87 buyer means he is top speed in this race, but tied with Renegade. Now, even though he finished 2nd because of Renegade's actions, he was placed 1st through a disqualification. His pedigree, strong buyer, leading jockey, and win here at Aqueduct make him a top contender for me. Post position 3 is I Did, a $300,000 purchase by Curlin, trained by Mike Baker, be ridden by Joel Rosario. 4 starts with a win and a place, but no starts here at Aqueduct. Now, it took him 3 times to break his main, which means win for the very first time. And when he did, it was at that longer distance, a 1.16 on a sloppy track at Churchill Downs. $118,000 maiden special weight. Now, in that race, he was close to the lead. He stalked in 2nd. Then he takes the lead and wins by a length and a half, but gets a very light speed rating of a 69. He stays at Churchill Downs, goes up in class, enters the G3 Street Sense. He flattened in that race, finishing 4th with a 74 buyer. I don't like to see flattened in the notes, especially when they have to go even longer. Can he get the extra distance? Well, he's by Curlin, who's known for dominating at the longer distances. And the dam, well, gotta love her name. I think I saw a pooty cat, was more of a sprinter or a mid-distance runner. And the siblings are really not known for the distance. For me, I did, is I don't. Just a pass for me. A little grit never hurt anyone. Post position 4 is occupied by Grittiness, a Curlin horse, another Curlin, trained by Todd Pletcher, and Jaime Rodriguez is his jockey. Now, if Grittiness is a maiden, mean he has yet to win a race. 3 starts, a place finish, which came here at Aqueduct. His first race was a 6.5 furlong race at Saratoga, where he met up with leading 2-year-old Ted Naffy. He had a poor start. He was bumped at the break. He was squeezed and finished 6th with a 70 buyer. Stays at Saratoga, runs a 7 furlong race, finishing 6th with a 50 buyer. Now the notes say he tired. Then he comes to Aqueduct for a mile-long race against Courting, who is also in this race. That race, only a 4-horse field. He was off slow. He was at the back of the pack. In the stretch, he gains momentum, but he can only finish 2nd to Courting with a 71 buyer. Now he'll be going 2 turns and a longer distance. He has the distance in his pedigree. He's by Curlin, and his dam is Coach Rocks. His dam sire is Oxbow, who won the Preakness and came in 2nd in the Belmont. He needs to improve his speed and definitely have a better break if he's going to take on the level of talent in this race, but his pedigree suggests there's potential to be competitive at this distance. Also, he's going to be getting blinkers for the first time, and sometimes that equipment change is all a horse really needs to get into that winner's circle. Now, it looks like there's potential here. This is a horse I'm definitely going to be watching. Now to a horse who has gone this distance, but is trying it first time on the dirt. Coming out of post position 5 is Chambersville. Trained by Kenny McPeak, he'll be ridden by Christopher Elliott. 3 starts with a win and a place. This is the only horse to have gone this distance, but he did so on the turf. In fact, all of his starts have been on the turf. His first 2 starts were at the mile and a 16th distance, when he came in 7th and 2nd. His win came at this distance, a mile and an 1/8 at Keeneland, in a $109,000 maiden special weight. In a field of 12, he comes out of post position 1, stays on the inside. He's tracking like 3 to 4th. Now, prior to that final turn, moves to the outside, makes a bid for it, finishing 1st, but only gets a very light buyer of 59. Now, I know he could go the distance, but what about the switch to dirt? Kenny McPeak does have above average stats when he goes from turf to dirt, and the sire Twirling Candy has as good as stats on the dirt as he does on the turf. Think gift box. The pros are the distance ability. The cons are that this horse needs to find another level of speed to be competitive in this race. Will the switch to the dirt be that trick? You want to talk investment? Post position 6, Courting, a full brother to Clairiere, multiple grade 1 winner. This is a, now wait for it, $5 million purchase by Curlin. And yes, my jaw is still on the desk. Trained by Todd Pletcher, he'll be ridden by Johnny Velasquez. 2 starts with 1 win, and both starts were here at Aqueduct. First race was an $85,000 maiden special weight going a mile. Comes in 4th with a 76 buyer. Now that race was won by Igniter, who is also in this race. Then he breaks his maiden in a mile race. $79,000 maiden special weight. Gate to wire, wins by 2.5 lengths, but there are only 4 horses in that race. He gets another 75 buyer. Now, Pletcher said in an interview that he gives the impression that this This horse really wants to go around 2 turns. With Curlin as a sire and a Bernardini mare, it seems like this horse has distance ability in him. And let's get real. You don't spend $5 million on a horse and not think, hey, I'm going to the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, or the Belmont. So the pros are the potential that this horse can really go the distance, has that Aqueduct experience with a win, and solid speed ratings in the mid-70s. But mid-70s are not going to win this race against some of the other competitors. So this horse needs to take that big step forward and improve. Now, before we move on, if you're finding this information useful, go ahead and hit the like button and hit subscribe. I'm going to be bringing you premium content, race previews for all those Kentucky Derby prep races, as well as horse racing education to help you improve your handicapping skills. You're not going to want to miss out. Also, go ahead and find me at my website, www.trifectaandextra.com, for more resources. And also Facebook and Instagram, I'm under Trifecta and Extra. Now on to the next contender. Let's get back started with a little heat. In post position 7, we have Igniter, trained by Rick Dutcho Jr. He gets Manny Franco in the irons. Now this horse has 2 starts with a win and a show, and that win came against $5 million courting here at Aqueduct. His first race was in Saratoga, a 6 furlong, $100,000 maiden special weight. He had to go really wide, finishes 3rd with a 75 buyer. Then he comes here for a mile race. Now he hangs very close to the leader, gets by the leader, and wins by a length and improves his speed rating to an 80 buyer. And who did he beat that day? Cordy, who is in this field. Now that speed rating does make him competitive here, but you have to wonder, can he get the 1 1/8 distance? He's by Volatile, and Volatile only really ran at the 6 furlongs. Also is not known to be a good sire of routers, and Top Progeny not really known to be routers. But the dam is Malibu Prayer, and she won a grade 1 at this distance. So there is some potential that he could get the distance, possibly. But if you believe he can, his speed ratings are enough to warrant a look. Coming out of post position 8 is Concarneau, trained by Maria Montoya and will be ridden by Michael Sanchez. 3 starts with 1 win. First 2 starts were at Parks. His first race is a 6.5 furlong race, finishes 9th with a 32 buyer, very light. Then he enters a $55,000 maiden special weight, wins by 7 lengths, but still the buyer's light at 59. Then goes into an optional claimer for a 1 1/16. Finishes 6th and a 14 buyer. Due to those really low speed ratings and 2 races that say reluctant and retreated, this horse is a pass for me. Somewhat of an outlaw already, we've got Renegade coming out of post position 9. And this is a horse that I really like in this race. First, his pedigree is eye-catching. He's by Into Mischief, and we know Into Mischief was a sire of many of the Kentucky Derby horses this year, including the winner, Sovereignty. The Dam of Spice is nice. She competed at the longer distances, but more importantly, her sire is Curlin, 2014 Hall of Fame inductee, also winning the 2007 Preakness, coming in 2nd in the Belmont that year, and also 3rd in the Derby. Now, Renegade is trained by Todd Pletcher, and he gets Irad Ortiz Jr. as his jockey. This horse has 2 starts with a place and a show. First race, 6.5 furlongs at Saratoga. Extremely hot pace that day. He tracked on the inside and finished 3rd. Then comes here, going the mile distance in a maiden special weight. And in that race, he won until he didn't. He was disqualified for impeding Paladin. But In that race, he gets an 87 buyer, which ties Paladin as top speed out of all of the contenders in this race. Here's the other thing I really like about Renegade. He's got the strongest late pace. Now this race, we've got 12 two-year-olds who all want to go right to the lead, or many of them do. So it could set up to be a fast-paced race, and that would benefit Renegade. So the pros are this: he's got the speed, he's got the pedigree, he's got the experience here at Aqueduct, and he may get the pace set up. For me, top contender. Post position 10 is occupied by Balboa, a horse once trained by Bob Baffert, now trained by Brittany Russell. His jockey will be Ricardo Santana Jr., a leading jockey here at Aqueduct. Now this is the most experienced horse in the field. 5 starts with 2 wins and a show. Also, the classiest horse in the field with 2 Grade 1 Stakes entries. His first time out was at Del Mar, finishes 3rd, but posts a very high buyer of 80 in a 5.5 furlong race. Then he backs it up by winning his second time out by, get this, 7 lengths in a 6.5 furlong race, also out Del Mar, and earns a 75 buyer. Baffert then enters him into the Del Mar Futurity G1, going 7 furlongs. Unfortunately, he weakens, comes in 5th, and falls to a 72 buyer. He regresses again in the G1 American Pharoah, going 1 1/16 at Santa Anita. Comes in 5th with a 69 buyer. Then he transfers to Brittany Russell's barn. In November at Laurel, he's entered into the James F. Lewis Stakes, going 6 furlongs on a muddy track, easily wins by 5 lengths, and gets a 78 buyer. So the highest buyers are coming in sprints. Obvious question's going to be, can he get the 1 1/8 distance? Well, he's by Not This Time, and Not This Time is an excellent sire of dirt routers. The Dam and the Dam Sire, however, are known to be more for sprints. For me personally, I'm not sure that the extra distance is going to favor him, but if he lives up to his namesake, we know he's going to be a fighter. Coming out of post position 11 is Talking. Trained by Danny Gargan, he'll be ridden by Kendrick Carmouche, and Carmouche is also a leading rider here at Aqueduct. Talking is a $600,000 purchase by Good Magic, who was 2017 champion juvenile male, finishing 2nd in the 2018 Kentucky Derby. 2 starts with a win and a place, so always in the exacta. In his debut at Saratoga, 7 furlongs, he gets the win by a neck and earns an 82 buyer. Even though he was green that day, he was here, there, and everywhere, and he switched back to his original lead for a bit. Well, what does that mean about changing leads? Horses lead with one leg. At some point, they switch leads to the other leg to help them speed up. Think about you if you're running through an airport with a heavy bag. Your arm gets tired. What do you do to speed up? You take that bag and you switch it to the other arm. So that's what horses do with their leads. Well, who did Talking beat that day? Further ado, who just won the Kentucky Jockey Club and is rising as the buzziest buzz horse for the Kentucky Derby. Then he goes to the G1 Champagne, a mile here at Aqueduct. No, nobody was beating Napoleon Solo that day. He led the entire race and set blazing hot fractions, 22 and change, 44 and change. But Talking, he comes in 2nd with an 84 buyer. That race also gives him experience at this track, which can be a plus. Now, can he go the extra distance? Well, he's the son of Good Magic, who is a good sire of dirt routers. Think Mage, who won the 2023 Kentucky Derby. The Dam sire is Tisnow, who won the Breeders' Cup Classic twice. So what does Talking have going for him? Well, he's got that Aqueduct experience, high speed ratings, 2nd in a G1 race, a win over Further Ado, and a distance pedigree. In addition, if the pace heats up, he's got one of the stronger late kicks. For me, a top contender. I just wish that he didn't have to cover all that extra ground coming out of one of the outermost posts. And speaking of the outermost post, going on to post position 12, we have Probably Dreaming. Trained by Gary Capano, he'll be ridden by Carlos Lopez. 4 starts with 3 wins in a row and a place, so always in the exacta. Wins at Laurel first time out, 51 buyer. Improved significantly next time out in the first state dash stakes at Delaware. 6 furlongs for Delaware bred only. Pretty much went gate to wire with a 71 buyer. Stays at Delaware and goes into a mile race, the Rocky Run Stakes. This time stalks the pace, wins by 4, and earns a 69 buyer. Last race was the Nashua Stakes here at Aqueduct going a mile. Was wide and finishes second with a 73 buyer. So the pros, 3 wins in a row, a place here at Aqueduct, and a pedigree that suggests he could go the distance. He's by improbable. The cons, he's a bit light on those speed ratings. And he's got to overcome that outermost post. Now it's your turn. Drop me a comment below. You know I love those comments. We've got 12 really good contenders here. Who do you like in the Remsen Stakes? Go ahead and hit like and hit subscribe. Again, I'm going to be bringing you premium coverage, derby preps, and also horse racing education to help you with those handicapping skills. As always, I hope you all find success at the track and sashay away with your money. Until next time, cheers.